our little history story begins on the shores of Morecambe Bay, Haitian village, and in the heyday of the 18th century, the pack horse trade coming over the Bowland Fells, there would have been pack horses and dealers from Clitheroe in East Lancashire bringing over the lime to Haitian and Morecambe Bay area for use in building and also for fertiliser on the land. And we've actually bought some limestone all the way from Clitheroe, from near the quarry. Bit of limestone here, which they would have burnt in the lime kilns to make lime. And we're going to leave it here. We're going to throw it into the sea at Haitian. There you go, a bit of Clitheroe limestone. Okay, now we need to find some cockles and mussels to take back to East Lancashire, to Clitheroe. Hopefully in time for the mayor making meeting tonight in Clitheroe Town Hall. So pack horses loaded with cockles and mussels from Morecambe Bay would have come inland to cross the River Loon at Lancaster, and we're going to cross it now by the Millennium Bridge, which is the new cycleway, which is not that far from where the original bridge over the River Loon was situated, the old line bridge, which disappeared and was fell into disrepair and replaced by the Skirton Bridge further upstream. So we're now crossing the Millennium Bridge, so we're crossing the Loon, just as the pack horses would have done in olden days. So we're not even going to pretend that we're not walking this, because we are. Like the steep pull out of Quernmore, which I knew I wouldn't be able to do. Now you can see Morecambe Bay hopefully in the background, going up this steep hill. Some bikes coming down now, so hopefully at some point I'll be able to get on my pony. The old boundary stone on the trough. Lancashire to Lancaster 12 miles, Bay Horse 10 miles, and Yorkshire to Whitewell 5¼ miles. If you can read that, Clitheroe is 12½ miles away. So we're just going to check the cockles and mussels are still okay, and the good news is that the cockles, £10 worth of cockles, £3 worth of mussels, have reached the side of the Trough Road. This could be the last stop before getting back to Clitheroe with the cockles and mussels. We just stopped at Whitewell. You can see the inn at Whitewell at the back. This is the little Chapel of Ease, quite an interesting little church. This was the last place of sanctuary for travellers before they attempted the perilous Trough of Bowland crossing. So before and after they'd been through Bowland, this was, and the inn was the last place of sanctuary for travellers. So we're here outside what is now Lancashire County Council Library, public library, brilliant library since the 80s. This used to be the Clitheroe Borough Council Town Hall, built in 1822. And before that, on the same site, if you just look down the street there, there was the old Moot Hall, which again was the home of governance of Clitheroe Borough Council. And the Moot Hall dated from about 1610, so it's quite an ancient thing. So all the borough traditions and the mayor making really began going back to when this was the Moot Hall and then the Town Hall. And they used to meet up in the chamber which was the old Town Hall. And it's only since it became a library, it was bought by Lancashire County Council in the 80s, that the Town Council moved over to the other side of the street, what was the old Borough Treasurer's office. Can you pan round to the Clitheroe Town Council? And that's where tonight, on the Friday, there's going to be the Cockle and Mussel Feast to decide on the new mayor for the next year. So Clitheroe was an ancient borough, had a charter since 1147, granted by Henry de Lacy, the Norman lord, and it had several charters after that. And before the first mayor was in 1837, and before that it was run by two bailiffs, an inner bailiff and an outer bailiff. The inner bailiff came from the town and the outer bailiff came from one of the surrounding villages. So the bailiffs were like the mayors, and they had the ceremony, the mayor making ceremony. And it said that a couple of days before they were deciding, a couple of days before the mayor procession of the new mayor, the bailiffs had to decide who the new mayor was going to be. So they had the meeting where they wanted to decide who the mayor was going to be for next year. Lots of arguing going on, and it said that to help them through the night, as they met in secret, a bit like choosing a new pope, they went and got from the old marketplace, the market seller. There was the market seller who's selling cockles and mussels, who'd brought them back from Morecambe Bay in Heysham, and they were cheap, cheerful, they would go down well with the ale that was supped. So began the Cockle and Mussel Fest. All started at the end of that pack horse trade. So the lime was taken to Clitheroe, the limestone was taken to Clitheroe and the lime, and what came back was the full panniers of seafood. And these are authentic cockles and mussels from, they've come over from Morecambe Bay fresh this morning from Edmondson's fishmongers. So this is a tradition that we are bringing back tonight.
No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one really knows how the game is played, the art of the trade, how the sausage gets made. We just assume that it happens, but no one else is in the room where it happened.
That the man came through the Trough of Bowland with the cockles and mussels, sold them around Clitheroe and then to the town council, which was then the borough council. And it's an ancient tradition, and the most important part of this is the fact that the public are not allowed into this one meeting. It's the only one.
No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened.
So the dilemma was, how would they get the cockles and mussels into the Moot Hall, which is across the road, and you'll have a picture. Well, what they did was lower a rope, tie it onto the basket, hoist the basket up, through the window and sit round and eat the cockles and mussels. I'm sure you've heard that, but there's no proof whatsoever that that ever happened. There's no record of it. But as far as I'm concerned, that's a much more fun story than telling us that a man came and knocked on the door and brought the cockles and mussels.
Go on, one more.
Mussels. I'm sick after it.
You fell off then.